Good afternoon, everyone. Today, our group 10 will present about the inflation targeting, and let's move to our contents of the presentations. First, we have the definition, and second is advantage and disadvantage. The third part is the performance of inflation targeting, and the alternative strategy, and the final part is our opinion about the optimal strategy. Let's move to the first part, the definition of inflation targeting. In recent years, the central banks, the makers of monetary policies, have adopted a technique called inflation targeting to control the general rise in the price level. In this framework, a central bank will attempt to attempt to estimate and make public a project or target inflation rate, and then attempt to steer the actual inflation toward that target by using such a tool as the interest rate change. Because the inflation rate and the interest rate tend to move in opposite directions, the likely action that central bank will take to rise or lower the interest rate have become more transparent because the inflation, because the inflation targeting policies, advocates of the inflation targeting think that it will lead to the increase in the economic stability. And the second part is the advantage and the disadvantage of inflation targeting. The advantage, it has the three main advantages. First is the balancing the predictability and the expectations. The second is to prevent the bubble and economic collapse. And the last advantage is to fueling the sustainable growth. And with this disadvantage, as you can see, it has the three big disadvantages that our group lists. From the unrealistic, unnatural in the economic development, and the ethical-based development, and the last, the side effects of this inflation targeting. And let's move to the next part to have a clear about the performance of the inflation targeting.
So about the performance of the inflation targeting, I have a chart here that describes the inflation rate in the latitude landscape. So all these countries are from the G7 countries that can be considered as have a strong economy. However, in these 7 countries, there are only 4 countries that have adopted the inflation targeting. With the first country is Canada in 1991, then in the UK in 1992. And only after 20 years that the US starts to adopt it in 2012 and Japan in 2013. So in all the countries, Japan is the only country which has inflation interest rate below the zero because of the inflation. So the reason for this is because the household in Japan is very concerned about the price. They always try to save more, and even with the condition of the inflation, they always try to reduce the total spending. That's why, however, in the 2013 when the government tried to change about the situation, they adopt the quantitative and qualitative money easing for monetary policy, and so then the inflation rate go up. And there are many ways that can affect the inflation rate, such as in the US, there was a bus tax out and the Financial Act or the Dodd-Frank Act, and in Canada they changed in the macroeconomic policy, and in the UK there was the Brexit in 2016. But however, I want to note that although these four countries are trying to adopt the inflation targeting, however, these country risk is very fluctuated and it changes more rapidly than other countries like France, Germany, and Italy, which don't use inflation targeting. And the next is about alternative secretary. Where the most common similar to inflation targeting is the price level. So they both try to constrain the interest rate in overnight debt. However, the price level target on to keep the CPI number in the same amount. And the next thing is monetary aggregate. So this method is try to slow down the growth of the money supply, and for the outcome is have to have a fixed rate of change in the CPI. And there are two types of security, which are fixed exchange rates and gold standards, both to keep the support of the currency and keep a low inflation. And last but not least, there is a mixed policy which combine all the secretary to reduce the unemployment rate and also the CPI change. The next part is the secretary.
Hello everybody, my name is Jung, and thanks and Khánh for their presentation. And now I will tell you about our opinion about the optimal strategy in the next decades. In my opinion, the inflation targeting is quite a good monetary policy to use in order to keep the economic stability. However, it has some disadvantage a bit old, as has been provided by Khánh. And now I would want to make more clearly about one of the policies that I think it will be the most useful in the next decades, which is price level targeting. And it goes into keep the stable average inflation over the whole period, not keeping the same inflation as the inflation targeting. As you can see that if you sum this inflation rate and divide it to a period, you will have the average inflation rate at 2%. By doing this, the price level targeting can still stimulate the demand, and will also it can still make the economics have grow, that the GDP can still boost as it used to be or even faster. And as you know that official rate is the main tool of inflation targeting. So that if the interest rate is zero bound, that the interest is zero bound, so that it cannot go below 0%. Therefore, some countries like Japan or Switzerland, which had the interest upon is below a government bond is below 0%, cannot fully use the inflation targeting. So price level targeting is the more efficient solution. So, and this is still have some disadvantages, such as it's hard to communicate with people to provide the goal of the government. But with development of the information technology, people can get the info and the policy more clearly than that used to be. And now I want to summary about my presentation, our presentation, that inflation targeting is a monetary policy and it has its own advantages and disadvantages. It has some kind of positive performance to the countries that have been used it, and we have introduced some other policy, and in our opinion price level targeting is the more optimal monetary policy in the next decades. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I have a question for Quang. Can you tell me one disadvantage of the inflation targeting monetary policy? One disadvantage.
One disadvantage.
Yes.
The one disadvantage I want to tell is the inflation targeting will make the side effects of it is in the long term. It will cause some problems to the many country, because that government have to spend a budget to calm down the economy by the inflation targeting. So it will lead to some fiscal deficit. I think it's the side effect.
Okay, thank you. Hi, can you tell me what strategy of our central bank, State Bank of Vietnam?
Maybe it's a mixed policy to both reduce the unemployment rate and have a more stable CCPI.
So, Chung, do you think that State Bank of Vietnam is ready for, your optimal strategy suggestion, price level strategy, right?
To be honest, in my opinion, the price level or the inflation targeting is, I think that only suits for the countries that have been developed to a certain level, which is really or have reached their stable state of economy. So that I think in the future, when Vietnam have continued to develop this pace, we can apply price level targeting.
Thank you so much.